Blake Shelton's life, filled with country music hits and TV fame, has always been under the spotlight. But recently, that spotlight has shifted to a more personal struggle.
I feel like sexy ends when I'm not sexiest man alive anymore. I don't feel like it exists anymore. I feel like it's over whenever I was sexiest man alive.
One that has left fans questioning everything they thought they knew about him. How does someone who's been through so much find the strength to keep moving forward when everything around them seems to be falling apart? What happens when the world is watching and yet you feel more alone than ever? After divorce, Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani leave fans in tears, and the journey that follows is one no one could have predicted. Let's watch how. A tough time for Blake Shelton. Blake Shelton has always been recognized as one of the most beloved names in country music. His calm personality, southern sense of humor, and songs that touch the heart have won him millions of fans across the world. People know him not only as a talented singer, but also as someone who brings comfort through music filled with warmth and honesty. However, this time, it turned out to be one of the hardest moments in his career and personal life. After the American Music Awards, instead of celebrating, he found himself surrounded by questions, rumors, and heavy emotions. The event, which is usually a stage for joy and recognition, became the beginning of a difficult time that left him struggling with both public pressure and private disappointment. After their divorce, Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani leave fans in tears, and this latest controversy added even more pain to the story of their relationship. The situation grew even more serious when shortly after the award show ended, Blake received news that added to the pain he was already feeling. The update was not only disappointing, but also left him shaken and reflective about where things were heading. For someone who has always used music as a way to share hope and positivity, this was especially heartbreaking. People close to him explained that the root of this trouble was not a single issue. It was a combination of problems that touched both his career and his relationship with Gwen Stefani, a world-famous pop star and his longtime partner. The connection between personal emotions and professional responsibilities made everything more complicated, and the weight of both sides together became difficult for him to carry. This was not just another controversy in the entertainment world. For Blake Shelton, it was a turning point that revealed how closely his personal life and his professional journey are linked. A night of surprises at the awards. The story took a dramatic turn at the American Music Awards in Los Angeles in the year 2025. Many fans were excited because they believed Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani would appear together on stage. Some hoped to see a duet that would highlight their bond, while others expected at least a red carpet walk side by side. For the audience, such a moment would have been proof that their relationship was still steady after facing years of challenges both in public and in private. Yet what actually happened was very different from what people imagined. Gwen Stefani stepped onto the red carpet alone, dressed in a bold metallic gown that caught everyone's attention. She smiled brightly and posed with confidence for the cameras, but the absence of Blake Shelton quickly became the bigger story of the evening. Within hours, whispers began to spread that Blake had suddenly decided not to attend. Reports suggested there had been a disagreement behind the scenes connected to Gwen's performance. According to sources close to the event, Blake felt caught off guard. The reason, they said, was that Gwen had made changes to the lyrics of the song they were supposed to perform together, and he had not been informed. What was originally meant to be a performance showing unity turned into something very different, carrying a message that Blake had not agreed to share with the world. When Gwen finally took the stage, she introduced a brand new song titled "No Apology Required." The track had a strong pop rock sound, and its words spoke about betrayal, distance in relationships, and finding strength to stand alone when harmony breaks apart. For many watching, the meaning was clear, and it was hard not to connect the lyrics to the rumors already surrounding her and Blake. This performance, instead of bringing them closer in the public eye, raised even more questions about their relationship and left fans wondering what was really happening between the two stars. Silence, speculation, and setbacks. In the days that followed the American Music Awards, social media was filled with questions and theories about Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani. People wondered if their relationship was on the verge of ending. Many asked if Gwen had used her performance as a way to send a hidden message to the world. Others were more focused on Blake, asking why he had chosen not to appear and why he had not spoken about the situation. The mystery only grew deeper when on Tuesday morning, Blake finally broke his silence. Instead of giving a clear explanation, he shared a short message online that suggested silence can sometimes speak louder than any song. This left fans even more curious, but it also showed that he was hurting. His followers quickly filled his page with messages of support, worry, and encouragement. Meanwhile, Gwen remained unusually quiet, and her silence created even more talk about a possible divide between the two. As all of this was unfolding in public, Blake faced another painful setback in his career. He received news from his record label that his much-anticipated album, Backroads and Heartaches, would not be released on schedule. The album had been planned for a June 2025 release and was described as his most personal work yet. It was expected to feature emotional country songs about love, heartbreak, and life after his time on The Voice. According to those close to the situation, the label decided to delay the release because they worried the ongoing drama would take attention away from the music. They wanted to wait until things settled down so the songs could be appreciated without distractions. For Blake, this decision was painful because the album was more than just another project. It was his way of expressing his deepest feelings, and he had invested his heart into creating it. Friends explained that Blake admitted the delay hurt him badly. Music had always been his safe space, and his way of finding peace during hard times. Now, even that comfort seemed to be slipping away when he needed it most. Worries and silence. Friends who know Blake Shelton well are becoming increasingly concerned about him. They explain that he is the type of person who often hides his true feelings behind a smile. Even though he tries to appear strong in public, this situation has affected him deeply. It is not only the American Music Awards controversy or the delay of his album. What troubles him most is the sense that he no longer has control over his story, both in his career and in his personal life. Blake has faced heartbreak before. His divorce from Miranda Lambert in the year 2015 was followed closely by fans and the media, and it left him under intense pressure. But according to people close to him, this current moment feels very different. Many believed that his relationship with Gwen Stefani was steady and strong. Even though they had faced struggles in the past, those around them thought the days of hidden messages in songs and solo red carpet appearances were behind them. For Blake, realizing that old doubts were returning has made the situation even more painful. At the same time, Gwen Stefani has chosen not to speak directly about the controversy. Some observers think her silence is a smart decision, allowing time for the attention to fade without adding more fuel to the fire. Others believe that she is focusing on reshaping her public image, separating herself from being seen only as part of a famous couple. Music experts also pointed out that her performance at the American Music Awards showed a side of her that reminded fans of her earlier solo years. It carried the same bold energy of her Tragic Kingdom days, rather than the more polished style she displayed on The Voice. Cultural critics explain that Gwen has always been able to change her image, depending on the moment, and this may be her chance to begin a new era in her career. If that is the case, then stepping away from the image of a country pop power couple might be part of her plan. Finding strength in silence. At the moment, Blake Shelton is spending most of his time at his ranch in Oklahoma, far away from the spotlight. He has chosen to surround himself with peace and quiet, while focusing on songwriting. Friends close to him say that he is putting his energy into family life, outdoor work, and the simple routines that help him stay grounded. Those who know Blake well believe he will eventually recover, as he always has in the past. Yet they also admit that this may be one of the hardest emotional challenges he has faced in years. For a man who often hides his struggles behind humor and charm, the weight of both public and private difficulties has left a deeper mark this time. There is, however, a silver lining in the middle of all this pain. Blake has often created his most powerful songs during moments of heartbreak and personal struggle. Fans are hopeful that out of this period of confusion and sadness, he may produce music that speaks directly to the emotions many people experience in their own lives. So far, he has not announced a new release date for his delayed album, and he has not shared any comments about the current state of his relationship with Gwen Stefani. Still looking back at his history, Blake has always managed to turn painful moments into meaningful art. Many believe that once again, he will transform hardship into heartfelt songs that resonate with his audience. Fans have expressed that Blake's music has often helped them through difficult times in their own lives. Now, they feel it is their turn to stand by him, offering support and encouragement as he works through this chapter of his journey. The early life of Blake Shelton. To understand how Blake finds strength during difficult times, it helps to look back at the journey that shaped him from the very beginning. Blake Tollison Shelton was born on June 18, 1976, in Ada, Oklahoma. His mother, Dorothy Ann, owned a beauty salon, while his father, Richard Lee Shelton, worked as a car salesman. From a young age, Blake showed a natural interest in music. By the time he was 12, his uncle had taught him how to play the guitar, opening the door to a passion that would soon shape his entire future. Only a few years later, at the age of 15, Blake had already written his first song. At 16, he received the Denbo Diamond Award, a respected honor in his home state that recognized his growing talent. But his teenage years also carried deep sadness. In November of 1990, his older brother Richie tragically passed away in a car accident at the age of 24. This loss left a lasting mark on Blake, shaping many of the emotions that would later appear in his music. After finishing high school at the age of 17, Blake made a bold decision. He moved to Nashville, Tennessee, with dreams of becoming a country singer. To support himself, he found work at a music publishing company. In 1997, songwriter Bobby Braddock helped him secure a production contract with Sony Music. This step was the beginning of his professional journey. A few years later, Blake signed with Giant Records. In 2001, he was set to release a song titled "I Wanna Talk About Me." However, the label decided it was not right as a first single, and the song was instead given to Toby Keith, who went on to make it a #1 hit. Blake's own debut album, however, still managed to gain attention. Critics praised his single, Austin, calling it imaginative and creative. Some reviewers, though, felt the album was designed too much to fit the growing alternative country trend, showing that even from the start, opinions about his style were divided. These early years revealed both the struggles and the determination that would define Blake Shelton's career. His mix of personal loss, natural talent, and persistence prepared him for the long road ahead in country music, rising to the top. In July of 2011, Blake Shelton released the album Red River Blue. The lead single, Honey Bee, quickly became one of his most successful songs. In its very first week, The track was downloaded more than 138,000 times. Within just 7 weeks, it was certified gold, making history as the fastest gold certification ever achieved by a male country singer at that time. By its 10th week on the charts, the song had already climbed to number 1 on the Hot Country Songs chart. This marked Blake's 9th chart-topping single, and also his fastest rising success. The album itself made a powerful entrance. Red River Blue debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, selling around 116,000 copies in its first week. Its success did not end there. The second single, God Gave Me You, which was originally written and performed by Dave Barnes, also became a number 1 hit for Blake. Soon after, another track from the album titled Drink on It reached number 1 in April of 2012, giving him his 11th chart-topping single. That same year, Blake performed the song Over during the semifinals of the second season of The Voice. The track went on to become his 12th number 1 song, and it also marked his 7th number 1 single in a row. His string of back-to-back chart successes showed that he had become one of the most consistent and reliable hitmakers in country music. In 2013, Blake was honored with the Gene Weed Special Achievement Award at the 48th Academy of Country Music Awards. This award recognized not only his success as a performer, but also his growing influence as a coach on The Voice. Around this time, he also launched the 10 Times Crazier Tour in support of his next album, based on a true story. The tour began in July of 2013 and ended in October of the same year. But because of its popularity, Blake continued the tour through 2014 and 2015. Meanwhile, his role on The Voice reached new heights. During season 4 of the show, he became the winning coach for the 3rd time in a row. His team member Danielle Bradbury won the season, while another act under his guidance, the Swan Brothers, finished in 3rd place. These victories made it clear that Blake Shelton was not only thriving as a country music star, but also shaping the future of music through his work as a mentor. Unstoppable success and personal growth. As Blake Shelton's career continued to rise, his personal life also began to shift. His marriage to country music star Miranda Lambert, which had been highly publicized, drew as much attention as his music. Their marriage was often seen as the epitome of country music royalty. But in July of 2015, the couple announced their divorce, surprising both fans and the industry. While the split was painful and marked a difficult time in Blake's life, he continued to focus on his music and his role as a coach on The Voice. Despite the challenges, Blake Shelton's career didn't slow down. In 2016, he released the album If I'm Honest, which included hits like Came Here to Forget and She's Got a Way with Words. Both songs were successful, and the album itself earned positive reviews. If I'm Honest reflected Blake's personal growth and the way he channeled his experiences into his work, giving fans a glimpse into his life after the divorce. With each album and single, Blake continued to prove that he could turn heartache into music that resonated with millions. Blake's journey on The Voice also reached new milestones. He became a mentor to even more up-and-coming artists, showing his versatility not just as a performer, but as someone who could shape the careers of others. His coaching style, full of encouragement and honest advice, earned him respect from contestants and fellow coaches alike. Over the years, Blake became one of the show's most popular and successful coaches, helping his team members win multiple seasons. The year 2020 came with new challenges for everyone, including Blake. The COVID-19 pandemic affected the entire entertainment industry, but Blake Shelton adapted and continued to create. In July of 2020, he released the album Fully Loaded, God's Country, which included hits like God's Country and Hell Right, both of which found success on country music charts. Even with the world going through a tough time, Blake kept connecting with his audience through his music and live performances, proving that the strength of his career was built on his deep connection with his fans. As Blake Shelton continues to grow both as an artist and as a person, he remains a beloved figure in country music. His journey, full of ups and downs, has inspired countless people. From a young boy with dreams in Ada, Oklahoma, to a multi-platinum selling artist and an influential TV personality, Blake's story is one of resilience and transformation. He has turned his personal struggles into a source of strength, using his music as a way to heal and inspire others along the way. Blake Shelton's journey is far from ordinary. From early struggles to immense success, his story shows how perseverance, talent, and a little bit of heartache can shape greatness. But with all the ups and downs he's faced, one question remains: what's next for Blake? And before you go, hit that subscribe button to stay updated on more videos about the people who make music history. What do you think is the key to turning heartbreak into creativity? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop your answers below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. If you enjoyed it, see you next time.